and welcome to the Piedmont Unitarian Universalist Church. Piedmont UU sits on the traditional land of the Catawba, Kiawe, and Shikari peoples. My name is Ann Lakaitis, and I will be the worship assistant this morning for Reverend Dr. Amy Rio. We are a flourishing, vibrant, and radically welcoming congregation which promotes diversity, inclusion, and social justice. We provide a safe haven for creative intellectual growth, spiritual development, and a deep sense of community for all who join us. We hope our liberal religious values will challenge you to join us as a community that lives boldly and acts justly. To all our visitors and members, we're very glad you are here, in person or with us online, and we hope to see you again. Your presence is a gift to us. Our announcements for this Sunday: our Christmas Eve service will be held this Tuesday, December 24th at 5 o'clock, and is a family-friendly service of lessons and carols. Please join us and bring a snack or cookies to share after the service if you are able. We will have a special offering for the minister's discretionary fund, which assists people with specific financial needs. The church office will be closed December 25th through January 1st for the holiday break. For other important information about our vibrant community, please see your order of service. Or if you are on our email list, please check our monthly newsletter and weekly announcements. Whatever brought you to this place at this hour, we welcome you. May you find something that you need, and may you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived.
The light of all that is divine shines brightly everywhere we look. Sometimes our eyes forget to see its presence. Let the light of our chalice today remind us of the presence of divinity all around us. I invite you now to please join me in singing the words to Lighting Our Chalice, the symbol of our faith. Thank you, Anne. I invite you to please rise in body or spirit for our call to worship, which is found in your bulletin. We are called to proclaim the truth. Divine light is all around us. It is not true that we must accept inhumanity and discrimination, hunger and poverty, death and destruction.
This is true. Good news of justice for all peoples is at our fingertips.
It is not true that violence and hatred should have the last word, and that war and destruction have come to stay forever.
This is true. Mourning and crying and pain will pass, and joy awaits us.
It is not true that we are simply victims of the powers of evil who seek to rule the world.
This is true. Justice is at hand, and we lead with love to stand up for what is right.
May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Our opening hymn is found in our gray hymnal, number 225, O Come, Emmanuel. Please be seated, and we invite any young ones to come forward. We still need to, okay, I didn't know. All right. Okay, we're going to be with you in a second. Miss Madia, some of you may know, is originally from upstate New York, and her oldest friend has asked her to be a godparent to her new baby, and today is the big baptism day. So she is up there, and Miss Robin is wonderfully filling in for us today. So thank you.
Trying our new mic today, too, so we'll see how this works. Let us know. And I thought that might be for the kids if we want to share it. So, good morning. Yeah, it's so good to see you both here again. So, this is a special time of year. Can you tell me some things about this time of year that you think are special? What do you think?
Special stuff from the heart.
From the heart. Yeah, from the heart. Thank you. Yes, we do. And we do give gifts. And there are lots of gifts that we've been talking about in RE that are gifts we're already given, that are just part of the world that we try to appreciate. What? Be happy, yes. Even when the days are dark and the nights are very dark and long, we work to be happy together. And so another thing that's special about this time of year, I think one of the reasons we probably give gifts is because we're working to we want people to feel happy even when the nights are long and the days are short. Have you noticed how this time of year, like when we get up in the morning, it's still dark outside, right? And what about dinner time? What's it like at dinner time? It's already dark, right? And in the summertime, the sun's right up overhead and shining down on us all day, and it's warm, and everything's green and growing. And in the wintertime, the sun, we tilt away, and the sun's lower. Like if we look at the sun right now,
It's kind of like there.
it's right there. Mm-hmm. And you get up in the morning, it's still dark. And so the sun, it's kind of rising low and in the east and going over this way. And we can really feel it in the church this time of year because it shines right in. Well, yesterday was the shortest day of the year. And this book is about that, celebrating it. And I'm sitting right in front of our Yule log. And last night there was a special celebration at church to honor, Miss Cosette organized that there, and to honor the shortest day, and now today we're starting to begin the longer days. But this story it's an old story about how people used to think about and how we still honor the way the sun changes and the day and the night changes. So this is the shortest day. And you see there's the sun, and it's shining way up in the sky there. And it's getting kind of gray outside, and the sun's lower in the wintertime. And what do you notice here?
I know,
Snow. It gets cold, and the leaves fall down off the trees, and what are those people doing?
Collecting wood for the fire to stay warm.
Yes, they're trying to stay warm, and they're doing everything they can to make the best of things when times get kind of hard, when it's cold and wintry. And so finally, the shortest day came. And that also meant the longest night. That used to make people kind of frightened. So what did they do when they were frightened of the dark? They would get up, and what did they do? What kinds of things do they have? Light. So they made a special holiday. And every day, everywhere down through the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. You see what they have in their hands there? And holly, like we have holly here on our Yule log. And so they're singing and dancing through the dark night. They lighted candles in the winter trees. And they hung their homes with evergreen. Do y'all do that at your house? Do you put any greenery up? Big one for you. They're dancing around. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. They're staying happy even through the dark winter. Singing too. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, making merry. Here comes the sun. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. Can you hear things well in the wintertime? Kind of. It's quiet. All the long echoes sing the same delight. this shortest day as promise wakens in the sleeping land. See, they're coming along together. They carol, they sing carols, they feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. They're singing all together with their greenery and their candles. And so do we, here now, this year, and every year. Welcome Yule. And the Yule, so we're welcoming in the new year, and we have a special candle here on our Yule log. Would you like to help light our Yule log right now? I'll get a candle, and we can do that. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I'm going to, oops. Yeah. And I'm going to give you a hand. Would you like to light the first one, Lizzie? Here we go, like this. And come over and get this one right here. There we go. Can you hand it to your sister? There we go. Yes. And do the other one together? How about you hold it together? How about we all do it together? Okay. I bet you can, Lizzie. You're doing a great job. There you go. Thank you. We're all set. Yay. Thank you. So now that you're standing up, we're all set to go, and Miss Cindy has got a special craft for all the children. Any other children that would like to join them as we sing the children out? We did me.
As you leave this friendly place, all give light to every face. May the kindness which we learn light our hearts till we return.
We now come to the time in our service where we have ritual and sacred sharing, and as we do every Sunday, we light candles, and they have special meaning for us, and they help bring more light into this world and help us remember the light which is here around us. So this week we light a candle first for Remy, one of our little ones who, now many of us know, had a heart surgery on Friday. And he is doing very well. I was talking with Louise, his mom, again this morning. We were communicating. He has even been walking a little bit and talking, and so we're just so thrilled that he has come through this so well. We also light a candle for safe travels for everyone who is traveling during the holiday season. For everyone who's been impacted by Hurricane Helene and for ongoing recovery efforts. For all who are impacted by the epidemic of gun violence. For the relief of the people of Gaza. For all areas of violence around the world, including Haiti, the Sudan, the Middle East, and the war in Ukraine. And for our country, that we may find ways to continue to connect together and to move forward with love and compassion and justice for all peoples. Now, at this time, you are invited to come forward if you would like to do so. I invite you to come forward along the far wall. You may fill out a prayer card and place it on the prayer stand. You may light your own candle of joy or concern, or you may place a stone in our shared water together. At this time, we will enter into a period for quiet rest, meditation, or prayer. And during this time, I invite you to settle into your breath more fully. And as you take these deep breaths, imagine and visualize light all around you, light from within and light encircling you.
Our reading this morning is a poem by Rosemerry, Wahtola, Trommer, entitled Inside It All. Beneath the masks, beneath the names, beneath ideals, beneath the shoulds is a thrumming, ecstatic, atomic swirl, unseen and omnipresent, inescapable and holy, a divine blurring of being, a realm of charge and energy, most of it empty space. Sometimes I remember this, perhaps walking in the woods or standing in the midst of a city's whir, perhaps working in the kitchen or singing in a choir. I remember who we really are. Remember not with mind, but with being. And I'm lost in it, found in it, alive in the cloud of it, astonished with the sacred design of it, elegant soup of it, elemental swirl of it all. How is it I sometimes see only woman, man, cottonwood, spider, self, other, other, other? We walk this journey of separation together. O being who is lonely, remember?
For today, we are having the last Sunday of our theme of presence. And as we are so close to a major Christian holiday, which is, as we look at all the world religions here as part of our UU community, we can think about the presence of divinity today. And as I was thinking about that topic for today, I remembered one of the systems of thought which I have a great love for, and it's called Celtic spirituality. And some of you may have some familiarity with Celtic spirituality. Now, I was first introduced to it in my early years of ministry, and I was intrigued by the new writings which were just starting to emerge in the late 80s and early 90s out of Scotland and Ireland. And they connected modern Christian thought with pre-Celtic or pre-Christian Celtic indigenous beliefs and rituals. John Philip Newell is one of the primary writers in this area. He has a new book coming out in August, which I already have on my wait list, and he has written a lot of great things about these amazing, very deep spiritual indigenous beliefs of his homeland of Scotland. Now, one of the first books I read from him had a word which I read it and I thought, I'm not certain I know what that word is. So this was pre-Google days. I had to look it up in a dictionary, okay? A religion dictionary. It was the word panentheism. Panentheism. Now, when I first read it, I thought, wait, that's not pantheism. Pantheism is belief in numerous gods, multiple gods. But it was the word panentheism. Panentheism means the divine is present everywhere, everywhere, in all creation and throughout the universe. I think one of the biggest challenges we have here in the Western world is this concept of dichotomy. Now, I won't go through the history of Enlightenment and thinkers and philosophers who encourage this mindset of dichotomy. There is a long history entrenched here in the West with it. But in essence, it means that we think things have to be one or the other. They're either good or bad, right or wrong, sacred, profane, male or female. And I could go on about all the dichotomies that we see here in the West. Now, this mindset does not allow for gray areas. There's nothing which says both and, it's either or. But I think we all know that life is filled with gray areas, isn't it? Think about why we choose to do what we do in our lives. We rarely do things with just one single motivation. Even think of buying a gift or giving a gift to someone, which a lot of us are doing during these days. And we might do it for a variety of reasons. We might select a certain gift because we love and appreciate that person. Also because we might feel a little guilty if we didn't get something for them. Also because maybe we want to support the business from which we have purchased that gift. Perhaps also because we might feel an obligation. Having the gray areas, multiple motivations, is not a bad thing. It's simply part of what it means to be human. panentheism allows for a broader understanding in our black and white world in which we live. Panentheism means the divine, whatever we view as divine in this world, is not separate from us or separate from the world. It's all around us in every part of creation. Now, some of you might remember a big hit song back in, somewhere around 1990. I didn't look up the exact year, but I was in seminary, and it was a song by Bette Midler, and the refrain went, "God is watching us from a distance." And there's been other variations of this too. I remember this one because here I am studying about all these things, first being introduced to Celtic spirituality and what panentheism is. And the song is on the radio a lot, and I love Bette Midler, okay? She's great. Yes. But then I started in the various churches that I was working in as a Duke student, I started to hear it sung in the churches because it was a pop hit that had the word God in it. So people thought, oh, well, it must be something we should be singing in church. And it made me a little bananas because I knew that the theology purported in that song, that God was simply watching at a distance, this divine figure watching at a distance, was counter to what so many people in these churches believed in a divine figure who was active and present in their lives and throughout creation. Now, a couple years after that, a different song came out which far better suited my theological viewpoint. And we heard the music to that during our centering this morning, which Ann played for us. It's by Joan Osborne, entitled, "What If God Was One of Us?" The refrain goes, "What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way back home." Now, during this season leading up to Christmas, where many believe that the baby Jesus was born with a divine nature, it's important to think about how we see the presence of divinity in this world. Now, here in our church, we talk about divine light within each person, a spark of divinity that resides in each creature in creation, humans and non-human creatures alike. Now, if we accept the presence of divinity all around us, what does that mean about how we live our lives? If this is what we hold as true, what does that mean about our actions and the way that we move and navigate in this world today? Now, Catholic priest and ecumenical teacher Richard Rohr wrote, "The entire universe is about connection and relationship. From the smallest atom to the galaxies and everything in between. Sin and evil emerge when we try to stand outside of that circle of connection." The presence of divinity is all about connection. The presence of divinity is all about connection. And evil emerges when we try to stand outside of that circle of connection.
Amen.
Thank you. I'd already started working a lot on this message, several weeks ago, when a fairly obvious example in the political sphere today emerged in recent days. Billionaires who see themselves as oligarchs, people who attempt to stand outside that circle of connection, people who don't know that everything they have is because of a connection to someone else. whether it's the housekeeper in their office building, the mechanic who keeps their cars running, an immigrant in the field who is harvesting the food that will ultimately be on their table, medical staff who care for physical bodies, or people standing on the assembly line for hours and hours each day. To acknowledge, and to accept the divinity all around us is to see the connection we have to everyone around us. To intentionally ignore or deny that connection is the beginning of evil. So how do we notice and acknowledge the presence of divinity around us? How do we notice and acknowledge that connection? We notice the presence of divine light when we are connected. When we are connected to ourselves, to the ground of our being, the ground of who we are as a person. When we are connected to other people, and when we see the spark of the divine in them and see our similarities, no matter what surface differences exist. When we are connected to the creation around us, and we seek to care for all creatures, from each animal to the trees and the air and the cosmos. When we are connected to educating ourselves about what we do not know, systems of injustice or oppression, various cultures and belief systems. When we are connected to the larger universe and the cosmos, the great mystery that is so far beyond the pinpoint of who we are and our lives at this point in time. When we are connected to a community like this, which seeks to lead with love in all things. When we are connected to the larger story of our lives and all humanity, the story that is about love and hope and justice and joy and peace. Even in the midst of the darkness, the larger story is always about love and connection, especially during the darkest night. Today, let us give thanks for the presence of divinity. Let us give thanks for connection. Let us open our eyes and ears and hearts to the connection that is all around us and to seeing how we are connected with every creature and with the universe around us. Today we give thanks for the divine light which fills us, surrounds us, and is throughout the cosmos. Blessed be. Amen.
happy faces I can see somewhere in my memory. Christmas joys all around me. Living in my memory. All of the music, all of the magic, all of the family here with me. Precious moments, special people, happy faces I can see somewhere in my memory. Christmas joys all around me. Living in my memory. All of the music, all of the magic, all of the family home here with me.
Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is so sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope, for we are now the keepers of the dream. This month, we are sharing our offering plate with Beloved Asheville. Beloved Asheville is a trusted, grassroots, and equity-focused organization with over 15 years of experience in movement building and advocacy for human rights. The organization's success is credited to the ability to build relationships, create visible change, and generate community-led momentum for collective action. Beloved Asheville's vision is to cultivate a caring community where every individual, regardless of race, ethnicity, or socioeconomic status, experiences the essence of belonging, wellness, fairness, and potential. We ask that you place your gift in the baskets as they make their way around the room, and you are always welcome to give online at puc.org or by texting PUC at the number 73256. Today's offering will now gratefully be received.
give thanks for your wonderful generosity, the generosity which shines light on the connection we feel with each other and with the world around us. I invite you now to please rise and body your spirit for our closing hymn found in our gray hymnal, number 226, People Look East. Now, before we extinguish our chalice, I offer thanks for all the many volunteers who help make our service possible. And we also ask we can leave because we're going to be back Christmas Eve in a couple days, so let's leave the hymnals on the chairs, is what I'm saying. I'm so used to saying, please move them back to the cart, but yeah, we don't need to do that today. We can just leave them here. So, and let's do as we do each Sunday with spirit and love in our hearts. Let us offer thanks for all the things for which we are grateful today, either verbally or in our hearts. Good health.
I offer thanks to all the many individuals who participated last night in our winter solstice Yule celebration, and especially all those who helped set up and clean up. Blessed be.
Yes, thank you. For everyone with our winter solstice celebration last night and all who helped set up and clean up, I would say especially for Cosette, who organizes these things, does a great job too.
I am grateful for everyone here and the light within them and a faith that recognizes the light is within everyone.
Amen.
Yes, and for our virtual viewers, for everyone here, the light that is within them, and for a faith which recognizes the light in each person.
Walking feet.
Walking feet. And Sue, we are very glad to see you today too. So, yes, for our wonderful music of the choir and for Anne. That was wonderful today, as always. Family and friends. Yes.
Even though our daughter is now living in Norway with her new husband, we get to keep her little chihuahua, who is just so sweet.
Oh. So Gail, even though her wonderful daughter and new husband are living in Norway, where he's from, Gail gets to have the grand dog. So she has her new chihuahua. So we're excited about that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Grateful for our visitors who come to share the light in this community. Well, we are grateful for all these things and so much more which we hold in our hearts today. Let us go forth noticing the divine light in all the places we see, and working towards fanning the flames of that light in the world around us. Amen. We now extinguish our chalice, but we carry its light, its warmth, and its meaning with us until we meet again. May we go in peace, believe in peace, create peace wherever we wander. May it be so.